Romans chapter 8 verses 28 to 30. God predestined us to be conformed to the image of His Son. Brothers and sisters, we know that all things work for good for those who love God, who are called according to His purpose. For those He foreknew, He also predestined to be conformed to the image of His Son, that He might be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. And those He predestined He also called, and those He called He also justified, and those He justified He also glorified. This reading speaks about the past, the present and the future. In the past and present God gave you life. He is presently working in your life. In the future, He also wants you to join Him in heaven. The word foreknew in Greek and in this context indicates God's chosen people, without regard for ethnic background or country of origin. This concept is made clear in 1 Peter chapter 1 verses 1 and 2 when he says, Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to the exiles of the dispersion in Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia. Chosen and destined by God the Father and sanctified by the Spirit for obedience to Jesus Christ and for sprinkling with His blood. It is through God's grace and mercy that He has chosen to adopt into His family. God's goal for us is to make us like Christ. Beloved, we are God's children now. It does not yet appear what we shall be, but we know that when He appears, we shall be like Him, for we shall see Him as He is. While we are far from perfect, we can live our lives in Christ-like behavior. How is that possible? Regularly attend and most importantly participate in the Mass and other church activities. In reading the Bible we will be studying Christ's life on earth, and we will also discover things about ourselves that are in need of improvement. We will discover that Christ prayed, another behavior we should follow. We need to be filled with the Spirit, because if we are filled with goodness that leaves no room for sin. We need to be God's hands working in the world that He created. These are but a few of the things, a few reflections, of what Christ taught us while He was here on earth. It's one thing to read the Bible, and maybe even quote some verses, but they are just empty words, unless we learn the lessons, and then live, according to the lessons learned. Have we been chosen by God? Yes, you have. God knew you before you were in the womb. He wouldn't create you and then abandon you. He wants you to join Him in heaven. In my Father's house there are many dwelling places. If there were not, would I have told you that I am going to prepare a place for you? And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back again and take you to myself, so that where I am you also may be. You might also like to read Imitation of Christ. Translated from Latin into modern-day English by Harold Bolton and Aloysius Croft. $2.50 at Amazon.com.